Have you ever wondered if your life has a divine purpose? Have you faced strange challenges that others don't seem to go through, or felt a powerful pull towards something bigger than yourself? The truth is, when God marks you, your life is never ordinary. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but there is purpose behind every step. In this video, we're going to explore 7 signs you are marked by God, using powerful examples from the Bible to bring each sign to life. Sign 1. You feel like you don't fit in. From an early age, people who are marked by God often feel like outsiders. You may find yourself in situations where you just don't blend in, even when you try. There's a divine discontent in your spirit, not because something is wrong with you, but because you were never meant to be like everyone else. Think about Joseph. Among his brothers, he was different. He had dreams that didn't make sense to those around him. He was favored by his father, but despised by his siblings. Why? Because he was marked. Joseph's uniqueness was misunderstood and even mocked, but it was God's calling setting him apart. When you're marked, your distinction is often your confirmation. This discomfort isn't punishment, it's positioning. God separates those he will use, and often that separation starts in your relationships and identity. You feel it not just socially, but spiritually. You hunger for something more. You can't settle for what others find acceptable. That's the pull of your purpose. Sign 2. You've been through unusual levels of pain. A deep calling often comes with deep pain. People marked by God tend to experience hardship that seems unfair or even unbearable. Your life may feel like a constant battle, but here's the truth. Pain is a tool God uses to shape his vessels. Your trials are not signs of abandonment. They are preparation. Look at Job. A man described as blameless suffered loss, illness, betrayal, and heartbreak. Why? Because he was marked. Job didn't suffer because he was cursed. He suffered because he was chosen. God trusted him with the weight of a testimony that would encourage generations. Pain gives you a perspective others don't have. It teaches endurance, humility, and dependence on God. When you're marked, your scars become sacred. God uses your wounds to heal others. The enemy knows you're marked too. That's why he's tried so hard to break you. But what the enemy meant for harm, God will use for good. Sign 3. You have a deep hunger for God. There's something inside you that won't let go. Even when you drift, even when you struggle, there's always a longing in your heart to be near God. People who are marked cannot stay comfortable in sin. The conviction is too strong. The pull toward God is too deep. David was marked by God from a young age. He wasn't perfect. He made serious mistakes. But his heart always found its way back to God. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. Psalm 42:1. That's what it feels like to be marked. Even in your darkest moments, your spirit cries out for the presence of the Lord. Marked individuals are spiritually sensitive. You feel things others ignore. Worship touches you deeply. Scripture speaks directly to your soul. That hunger isn't normal. It's divine. It's God drawing you closer to himself. Sign 4. You've been protected from things that should have destroyed you. Think back on your life. Are there moments when you should have failed, fallen, or even died, but somehow you made it through? That's not luck. That's divine protection. When God marks you, he places a hedge of grace around you. Moses should have died as a baby. Pharaoh ordered the death of all Hebrew male infants, but Moses was saved. Not only was he rescued, he was raised in the very palace of the man trying to kill him. Why? Because God had a plan. Moses was marked. The waters that should have drowned him became the waters that delivered him. Many marked people have testimonies of near-death experiences, miraculous healings, or unexplainable escapes. God doesn't preserve you without purpose. That car accident that didn't take you, that addiction that didn't kill you, that relationship that didn't break you, God was with you through it all. He has a calling on your life, and your survival is proof. Sign 5. You're called to lead in unlikely places. Another powerful sign you're marked by God is that He often places you in leadership roles, especially in places where you don't seem qualified. You might feel unworthy, untrained, or unprepared, but God equips those He calls. Esther was a Jewish girl living in exile, yet she became queen of Persia. She had no royal lineage, no political influence, but she had favor. Why? Because she was marked for such a time as this. God put her in position not for her comfort, but for her calling. She saved an entire nation because she stepped into her assignment. When you're marked, doors open for you that don't make sense. People look to you for guidance even when you feel like you're still figuring things out yourself. Leadership isn't always about titles, it's about influence. Whether in your family, your job, or your community, you carry authority because God placed it on you. Sign 6. You face spiritual opposition. Being marked by God often means you become a target for spiritual warfare. The enemy doesn't waste energy on people who aren't a threat. If you've experienced strange resistance, unexplained attacks, or constant delays, it may be a sign of the calling on your life. Jesus himself faced opposition from the moment he was born. Herod tried to kill him as a baby. The Pharisees plotted against him. Demons recognized his presence and trembled. Why? Because he was marked, and the enemy knew it. When you're marked, you might notice patterns of attack that seem beyond the natural. Financial instability, relationship turmoil, mental exhaustion, all are signs of spiritual warfare. But take heart, greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. 1 John 4:4. If you weren't marked, you wouldn't be under attack. But every battle you face is a battle God has already equipped you to win. Sign 7. Your life inspires others, even when you don't realize it. Finally, people who are marked by God often impact others without even trying. Your words, your prayers, your presence carry weight. You may not always see the fruit of your obedience, but others are watching, learning, and growing because of your example. Paul was once a persecutor of Christians, but after his encounter with Jesus, his life changed dramatically. He was marked. And because of that, churches were planted, letters were written, and lives were transformed. Even in prison, Paul was making an impact. His circumstances didn't limit his influence. Sometimes you may feel like what you're doing doesn't matter, but God is using your life as a light. People draw strength from your resilience. They see your endurance and it gives them hope. You are a living testimony. Being marked by God means your life has meaning far beyond your current reality. Conclusion. If you see yourself in these signs, don't be afraid. Be encouraged. Being marked by God isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. You were chosen for more. You were created on purpose, with purpose. Your life is part of a bigger story, a divine narrative where God gets the glory and you walk in destiny. Yes, you'll be misunderstood. Yes, you'll face trials. Yes, you'll be stretched and refined, but you'll also see miracles. You'll walk in power. You'll experience intimacy with God unlike anything you've known before. So embrace the mark. Lean into the call. Trust that the one who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. Philippians 1:6. You are marked by God, and nothing can change that. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs this word. Comment below and let us know which sign hit home for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more powerful Bible-based content. You are not alone. God has marked you, and your journey is just beginning.